Yo, what's going on YouTube? This your boy Kamen Zero Spike back again once again today, people. Today we're here for another we're here for another episode of Kamen Rider Gotchard, episode 19. And I did really love this episode. And we see that the whole show is basically taking a whole it's taking a different sort of turn now that we got new villains and the main villain's been, introduced, and we have all these these other factions going, not really factions, but the main cast are kind of like on their own now, and they really have no guidance anymore. Minato's gone, and there really isn't any other figures right now that can truly guide them, and then they really just winging it. They really just going about it on their own, and I really kind of like that. A lot of this stuff are cut off, and they just relying on their own smarts and powers and things that they know how to do. And I like that. I like that aspect that we're in now. And we see that in this episode that Gotchard has basically made a new amalgam that basically he's a Cerberus amalgam, and he looked weird. His design was kind of weird. We see weird monster designs all the time, and this one is one of the ones. The Cerberus Kimi that he's based off of looks freaking dope. It looks freaking dope, and I'm glad our girl Kudo has this Kimi in her possession now. Maybe she can do something with it. I hope so, but I don't want to see the last of this Kimi. But yeah, we have seen that he has created this amalgam. This amalgam was like a guy, was also like a voodoo doll type thing. He broke himself out, and he was screaming for meat. He was screaming for food, and we see that Gotchard just basically gave him some baked chicken, a fat plate of chicken. I'm like, yo, let's do this. Give me some of that. Nah, I ain't gonna get none of that. But we see that he ends up taking taking one of the taking the Cerberus Kimi from one of the sisters that they basically captured. They're out there capturing Kimis now, and he basically takes this Kimi from her, and Gotchard basically creates him into the Cerberus Kimi, and he acts as the baby sister. Well, not baby sister, but she's still the oldest, but she's little. And he autotropes, and he tells her to go out and, hey, take this thing out take our dog out for a walk. So we see that Kudo is talking with Rin. Watching this video back, I meant to say Ichinose. She's talking with Ichinose about her dad. Yeah, alright, back to the video. And we see that Kudo is still trying to figure out what she wants to necessarily do, what she's still off about stuff. And then we see that Ichinose comes in and reassures her about her dad and things like that. And now she has now she's really happy that her dad isn't a traitor. He's not a traitor. It's Gotchard's fault, stuff like that. So now she has that, she has that peace of mind. She has that closure now. And throughout the episode, we see that Kudo is trying to figure out what she wants her own path to be. And in this episode, we see that she still cannot do alchemy because of the whole Geats crossover. But she cannot do alchemy. She wants to help out more throughout it. And we see this when the Cerberus monster actually attacks. And when he actually attacks, we see that Ichinose is using his new Fire Gotchard form. Still a really cool form. It was one part of the episode where it was he was charging up, and he had chains around his ankles, his legs, and he was trying to go help Kudo because Kudo's basically being attacked. And we see that Autotropes is also trying to get under Kudo's skin again. She's trying to get under Kudo's skin and trying to really wanting to off Kudo in this episode. She makes multiple attempts in this episode to off Kudo, and we see that Ichinose was trying. He ends up beating. Well, he doesn't really beat the Cerberus monster, but yeah, we also got a scene where we saw that Minato came up to. He basically followed Kudo, and he possessed a bunch of people and made them walk towards the edge of a bridge, and they're just walking into the wall of it over and over. And he basically wants Kudo to come back to the academy, and she can aid in their research. And she's like, no, I'm not doing that because you're just using Kimis to hurt people and things like that. And he's like, all right. and that's when Ichinose comes up, and that's when he is fighting Ichinose. But just when Ichinose is getting ready to go into his fire Gotchard form, that's when Minato is like, nah, I really don't feel like fighting that form. I don't really like fighting that, you know. And I feel like Minato knew that he would lose against that new form, that newfound power. But yeah, we see that Kudo's still trying to figure out what she wants to do with her own path, and we get another scene. We basically got the scene where they do get attacked by the Cerberus monster again, but then that's when it has like the ability to like separate its heads, and it can separate its heads. It basically can make like 3 bodies of itself. And we saw that the Gotchard igniter can overheat. Like, it was overheating in the last battle when they fought the Cerberus, and when they were fighting it, Ichinose could not transform into his fire Gotchard form, so Sabimaru and Ringe basically took it to basically cool it off. So we see that Ichinose did turn into Rex X form to fight these other 3, to fight the Cerberus, but he can't really, because it's always separated itself and he's having a hard time with it, which I found kind of stupid, because the Rex X form supposed to be a really powerful form, but he's not really using any of its powers. He's not really using like any of the attacks or anything like that. He's just like punching and kicking and slapping it. But oh, excuse me. But yeah, so we see that the Cerberus monster is being controlled. Gullion basically gave Autotropes basically like a flute or a piper to I forgot the name of this flute, but it's basically a flute, and he gives it to her to basically be able to use it to control the Cerberus, because he doesn't like being controlled, and when she uses it, she blows on it and things like that. But we see that in the midst of him fighting, fighting Ichinose, he ends up hitting the flute and destroying it. And when he destroys the flute, that's when he's not able to be controlled anymore, and he turns on Autotropes and tries to basically off her. When it breaks, the gold like goes into Autotropes' arm and turns her arm into gold, and she cannot move her arm. And that's when the Cerberus monster is basically attacking her. But we see that Kudo is like seeing this, and Ichinose still trying to handle the other Cerberuses. We see that Kudo actually defends Autotropes. She defends her, and when she defends her, and the Autotropes is like, "Why are you defending me? I'm your enemy. Like, you're gonna regret saving me. You're gonna regret helping me," and things like that. And Kudo's like, no, I figured out the rules that I want to follow. I figured out the rules and stuff like that I'm gonna go by. And we see that her power of her ring ends up changing, and it changed back into her Henshin ring, and she ends up using her ring, and she transforms, and we get Kamen Rider Majid Sun Unicorn. Now this form looks really, really cool. I like the theme song of it. I like how she fights in it, and she ends up basically demolishing one of the Cerberuses, because it's still split into 3 at this point. So after that, we see that Sabimaru and Ringe, they end up bringing back the Gotchard igniter, and they giving it back to Ichinose. But then when he uses it, he transforms and basically has the armor of the Gotchard red form, but he's fused it together with Sapo Skibo, the fire form that he got with that, and he's able to basically defeat one. It basically ends up defeating one of the Cerberuses, and he basically defeats one of the Cerberuses, and it basically fuses back together into to one big Cerberus, which we see that Kudo ends up taking out herself. When she ends up defeating it, she ends up capturing the Cerberus Kimi, and that's when we also see how when Kudo defeated the Cerberus Malcolm, we see that she ends up healing Autotropes' arm, and that's when Autotropes is like, "You're gonna regret this." Tropes leaves, and she's like, "You're gonna regret saving me," and things like that. We did get a couple scenes with Spanner and Spanner and his I forgot her name, but she's there with him, and they see that Kudo is now got her power back, and she's now a Kamen Rider again. And he feels like a bit, off about that, because like he isn't as powerful as Ichinose or Kudo right now. Oh, excuse me. And at one point, he was stronger than them. He was stronger than both of them, and now he's like down on the totem pole now. And I mean, like, his rider form is coming very soon. Next episode, maybe not, because it seems like we're dealing with some stuff. We're dealing with his parents and things like that, and we're getting some Spanner backstory before we end up getting the whole rider form, which I like. Foreshadowing it and not just straight up giving it to us. It may appear in the next episode. It may appear, but it may appear like at the ending, and then like we'll get a full episode of him actually using it. But yeah, this episode we see that they have defeated them. We see Autotrops goes back and she talks to Glion, and Glion is like it's clear that Autotrops is his favorite. It's clear that he doesn't care for the other two sisters like that, but it seems like the baby is like his favorite, and he holds her arm, and tells her that I said, I'm glad you're not hurt and things like that. We see the other sister, she's watching this, she's pissed off about it. So it seems like the other two sisters are getting to a point where they're like, we don't care about, Glion doesn't care about us as much as he cares about you, and it's possibly going to lead up to them betraying him and stuff like that, but we'll cross that bridge when we get to it. But other than that, this episode was cool. I really like Sun Unicorn. It's really cool to see another female writer. I love female writers. My dream is to have a main character female writer one day, and I'm still holding on to that. I like female writers, and I want to see one day we have a full-on main character female writer. That the word male and main character kept coming in my head. But this episode was cool. I do like the character growth within Kudo, her finding her own path, her finding her own way she wants to do things, and it ends up giving her power back. We got some more people out there to help fight against Glion and Minato. Minato also met back up with Kudo, and he says that, so you found your own path. That's good, because next time I see you, I'm gonna take that ring from you. I'm gonna take that power away from you, and proving that he's still on the side of evil. He's still out here doing bad stuff. So we'll see how that goes down the line, because he's still out there. He's still Kamen Rider Dread, things like that. Now I'm kind of hoping, I don't know if they're gonna go down this route, but after Spanner becomes his rider form, maybe we'll only have 4 writers for this series. Maybe we'll only have 4 writers, or since I don't know how long Minato is going to become Rider Dread. We don't know that. Or maybe he'll become a good guy again and probably purify the Dread form. I'm speaking theories right now. But other than that, you guys let me know down in the comment section below what you guys think of this episode of Kamen Rider Gotchard. Let me know your thoughts on the Sun Unicorn type form, stuff like that. Let me know, how do you feel about Ichinose not using Rex X the way it's supposed to be. But so I'm gonna see you guys next time. Make sure to like, share, subscribe, hit that notification bell. As remember, as I always say, stay henshined.